What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C4 here, and today, part 2 of my 2016 Eagles Connected Franchise Mode Scouting. We're going to take a look at the offensive side of the ball. I already released the defensive side of the ball. If you haven't checked that out, go do so right now. There's going to see all the draft prospects for this coming year. A lot of big names, especially at that cornerback position, that we're going to be looking at heavily to add and draft in the second round for the Philadelphia Eagles. But today, we are taking a look at the offensive side of the ball. Before we jump into the video, smash that like button if you guys enjoy, the kind of depth and difference that I'm bringing to the draft mode that a lot of connected franchises, if not any other connected franchises, are doing on YouTube right now. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. But today, we will start from the offensive line and work our way down to the quarterback position. We'll go from the ugliest to the prettiest, because that is what we do on this channel. We will start with number 7 on offensive line is Ethan POCIC from LSU, a run blocker. He's classified as a center guard. He's just pretty much an interior offensive lineman. 6'6", 310 pounds with a third round grade. We could potentially be looking at a guard. Steven Wisniewski's contract, we could, plan on re-signing him. I definitely am on the fence. I'm certainly not looking for a guard outright. We have Wisniewski, but if we do decide to move on, a guard in the third round is certainly an option for us. Number 6 is John Heck from UNC, balanced trait offensive lineman, 6'6", 300 pounds, a third round tackle, probably will be a right tackle in the NFL. And, if Lane Johnson can keep getting suspended, he is a potential option that we may have to look at. Number 5 is Pat Elflein, Ohio State beast, the top rated guard in this year's draft class, balanced trait, 6'2", 300 pounds with a second round grade. Again, if we want to go for a guard, I think second round is a little too high, a little too rich for my taste, but for sure, he's an option. Number 4 is Connor McDermott, UCLA offensive tackle. A lot of people actually could see him as a left, but he best projects as a right tackle. 6'8", 310 pounds with a second round grade. We're more so, if we have to spend a second round pick on offensive lineman, we are looking at getting a left tackle to replace Jason Peters because, personally, I'm thinking I'm going to keep Lane Johnson at right tackle. Number 3 is Roderick Johnson from Florida State with a balance rate, 6'6", 310 pounds with a second round grade. Again, probably will be a right tackle in the NFL. Definitely has the ability to play left tackle, but I think he may be most comfortable at the right tackle spot. But a guy that, I circled. Number 2 is Mike McGlinchey from Notre Dame, 6'7", 310 pounds, second round grade. Probably will be a left tackle starting right away. And that's kind of rare, getting a starting left tackle. Most tackles start at right and then work their way to left. I think McGlinchey could certainly be a day one starter at left tackle. Obviously not the first round grade, not nearly as good. Well, not nearly as good, but not as refined as the number 1 prospect. But for sure, in our price range and what we have to spend in the draft, McGlinchey is totally a guy we will be scouting heavily. But the number 1 tackle is left tackle Cam Robinson from Alabama. Off-field issues, he may slip into the second round. Probably will still be a late first-round pick, similar to Laramie Tunsil last year. 6'5", 330 pounds. Is head and shoulders the best tackle in this year's draft class, though. We will take a look now at the tight end / 1 fullback. We will start at the fullback position. We are showing the love. There will be at least 1 fullback usually in most of my draft classes. At number 7 is FREDDIE Stevenson from Florida State. Run blocker, great fullback, University of Florida State. Greg Jones, I think it was Florida State, one of the highest rated fullbacks back in the day in Madden. 6 feet tall, 245 pounds with a 5th round grade. I don't think you can really rate a fullback higher than the 5th round. We're not really in the market for a fullback. But then again, we don't have one on the roster, and we don't have a natural fullback, so that's potentially an option, but highly unlikely. Number 6 is Billy Freeman out of San Jose State, a receiving tight end, 6'3", 230 pounds in the 5th round. We're not in the market for a tight end. I think Brent Selleck still has a couple years left. If not, we still have Trey Burton, and obviously Zach Ertz is our number 1 tight end. Number 5 is Taylor McNamara from USC with a balanced trait, 6'5", 245 pounds with a 4th round grade. Now, those guys there are kind of sleepers or projects. The top 4 tight ends certainly are going to be impact players on their rosters. Number 4 is Jordan Leggett from Clemson with a balanced trait, 6'5", 255 pounds out of the 3rd round. Big enough body to get involved in the run game, but a great receiving threat. Has some solid speed to him as well. Number 3 is Evan Ingram from Ole Miss, a receiver trait, 6'3", 230 pounds, 3rd round grade. Ole Miss no longer has Laquan Treadwell at the wide receiver position, and I'm fully expecting Evan Ingram, even from the tight end position, to emerge as their number 1 receiving threat for quarterback Chad Kelly. Number 2 is O.J. Howard from Alabama with the receiver trait, 6'6", 240 pounds, 2nd round grade. A lot of people may be surprised I don't have him as a number 1. I just think he's so hot and cold. Where a guy like Jake Butt is really consistent everywhere. But O.J. Howard could potentially run a crazy 40 time and, squeak into the first round if some team is desperate enough. But I think he is going to be a second-round pick. And the number one tight end is Jake Butt from Michigan. Balanced trait, 6'5", 250 pounds with a second-round grade. Funny name, one hell of a tight end, one of the best tight ends in college, and a team in need of a tight end. Unlike us, we don't need one. May certainly want to use their second-round pick on Jake Butt. Moving on to the wide receiver position, somewhere else we need to look. I think it's going to be tough to get one of these guys. Like I said, we need to get a corner bad. A wide receiver would be phenomenal. The way Dorial Green-Beckham's looked, we may be all right and holding off until maybe the third round. We only have one third-round prospect here on the top 7, but definitely a position of need. And like I said, let me know what these targets you want me to scout. Number 7 wide receiver is Cooper Kupp from Eastern Washington. He's a possession-type wide receiver, 6'2", 215 pounds with a third-round grade. He's been absolutely destroying Div 2. And we already have, a guy, Div 2 can work. Carson Wentz, we've seen already. He looks very promising. Cooper Kupp probably will end up with most of the Div 2 records, it seems, on the pace that he's setting at Eastern Washington. Like to throw the ball a lot, and he is, getting incredible stats. Number 6 is Travin Durrell from LSU. Balanced trait, 6'2", 205 pounds with a second-round grade. Weight may be an issue for him, but definitely a prospect we can look at. All these wide receivers are big-bodied guys, man. I think this is the beginning of a generation of just these freakishly sized wide receivers. Number 5 is Corey Davis from Western Michigan. Speed trait, 6'3", 215 pounds, second-round grade. People are saying he can clock in low 4.4. So maybe good enough that we have to spring a second-round pick on him. Number 4 is Malachi Dupree from LSU with a balanced trait, 6'2", 195 pounds with a second-round grade. See some glimpses of an Odell Beckham Jr. Makes incredible highlight reel catches. Decent speed, good size. I think a little bit of a project player, but totally worth the investment of a second-round pick. Potentially could be looking at him. Number 3 is Ju Smith-Schuster from Michigan. Red zone threat, 6'3", 200 pounds, second-round grade. Another guy we could potentially looking at. I think we are more so looking for the speedier guys. Chesson, I don't know what our report is here. I got my scouting. What's his 40 time? About a 4.5 40 time. So not a burner and not exactly what we need. We need a wide receiver that can really create space. The Corey Davis and Malachi Dupree are 2 guys we are going to be heavily looking at. But Chesson is definitely going to be a prospect to watch. Number 2 is Ju Smith-Schuster from USC. Balanced trait, 6'2", 220 pounds, first-round grade. Maybe one of the strongest wide receivers I've ever seen in my life. And definitely a first-round talent. And the number 1 wide receiver is Mike Williams from Clemson. Balanced trait, 6'3", 220 pounds with a first-round grade. Both, man, look at that, 6'3", 200 pounds. Like, these guys are freaks. These guys are monsters. Mike Williams, like I said, they're not burners. They're not going to have phenomenal speed. They probably have, mid to high 80 speed. But those sizes, man, they're going to win every jump ball and be dangerous as fuck in the red zone. But we're going to be looking at the second-round wide receivers. I think Corey Davis and Dupree are my 2 big targets here. Next up will be the running back position. Again, another second. I think we may. If I'm at the pick, what position I'm probably going to go in the second round, it probably will end up being a running back. Because, Ryan Matthews' era, you can't rely on him. He's too injury-prone. And I'm not a huge fan of the other prospects we have at the running back position. So number 7 is Wayne Gallman from Clemson. Balanced trait, 6 feet tall, 215 pounds. Second round grade. He's the guy that's on our board. I would definitely be satisfied with Wayne Gallman. Got 4.5 speed. Number 6 is Royce Freeman from Oregon. Balanced trait, 5'11", 230 pounds with a second round grade. Some people are saying he can clock it in with a low 4.4 40, somewhere around 4.5. At 230 pounds, I would be all over that. Number 5 is Samaje Perine from Oklahoma, a power back, 5'10", 235 pounds, second round grade. Does not have the speed that Royce Freeman has, but has a lot more power. One of the strongest players in college, regardless of position. So he's another potential guy that I would jump all over. Nick Chubb at number 4 from Georgia, balanced trait, 5'10", 220 pounds. Probably would have been a first-round prospect if not from an injury. That may hinder his talent there, but definitely could squeak into the tail end of the first round if somehow 4 backs were getting drafted. He may be a guy that we could target, but I'm assuming we're going to have probably a later second-round pick, and he will at best go at the top round. Number 3 is Dalvin Cook from Florida State, a one-cut runner, 5'11", 220 pounds, first-round grade. One hell of a talent. These 3 guys here are all potential superstars in the making. Number 2 is Christian McCaffrey from Stanford, another one-cut back, 6 feet tall, 205 pounds with a first-round grade. He can do it all. Special teams ace, play a little bit of receiver, great hands out of the backfield. But the number one undisputed running back is Leonard Fournette out of LSU. Balanced trait, he can do it all. Got good speed for his size. The second coming of Adrian Peterson, 6'1", 230 pounds. Top 5 grade for sure. We won't have a chance of getting him, but some guy in some GM around this league is going to be getting one hell of a running back, a franchise player for sure in there. But we will finish up with the quarterback position. Because of Carson Wentz, we no longer really need to address it, but these guys here are all potential players that can be stars of my franchise mode coming years. Number 7 is Joshua Dawes from Tennessee with the mobile trait, 6'3", 215 pounds with a 5th round grade. Number 6 is Mason Rudolph out of Oklahoma State with a strong arm trait, 6'5", 230 pounds with a 4th round grade. Number 5 is Luke Falk from Washington State, pocket passer, throw the ball a lot there in Mike Leach's offense, 6'3", 215 pounds with a 4th round grade. Number 4 is Chad Kelly from Ole Miss, balanced trait, 6'2", 220 pounds with a 4th round grade. All those guys will probably be backups in the NFL. One of them may develop, but I'll say best case these guys are backups. A fringe backup, maybe a starter. Number 3 is Seth Russell from Baylor. Balanced trait, 6'3", 220 pounds with a 3rd round grade. I think similar to Bryce Petty, he'll need a couple years of development, but definitely could be a future starter down the line. But the top 2 picks, first round guys, are definitely going to be starters. Number 2 is Brad Kaaya from Miami, West Coast trait, 6'4", 215 pounds with a 1st round grade. A lot of teams, if you don't want to go with a more mobile quarterback, Deshaun Watson, you have a more pro style, Kaaya will be, maybe the number 1 target on their list. But the number 1 is Deshaun Watson, the Clemson quarterback, mobile trait, 6'2", 215 pounds with a 1st round grade. We saw the success Marcus Mariota's had. I think Deshaun Watson, very, very similar skill set, and probably will be a day 1 starter in this league once he gets drafted. But there you have it, guys. Those are all the offensive prospects for this upcoming 2017 draft in my Philadelphia Eagles Connected franchise mode. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button. I put a lot of work into this. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and make sure you stay tuned for the episode 3, or the game 3, sorry, of my Philadelphia Eagles Connected franchise mode. That does it for me here today, guys. Thank you for watching, and until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out.